Okay, in this video we're gonna try to beat Malenia. But if you ever fought against Malenia, she's pretty challenging, as you'll see. I was trying different methods, but like I said, if you try Malenia, this is kind of how it feels. So once you've gone through some of that, this is the physic I used, and that was the alternative circled in red. But this is the weapons and the equipment I used when I ended up figuring out a strategy to beat her. And I will show it 3 times, 3 different times, to show that this method is pretty consecutive. And if you're not good at dodging waterfowl dance, you'll probably get better at it. But if you keep your distance, you only have to dodge the second 2 attacks, or if you're lucky, only the last one. If you're far enough away, like when she jumps up in the air for the last one, just dodge towards her. And most of the time she'll miss you, or you'll just get hit a few times, but you'll live. And notice I'm using 1 dark moon and 2 night comets. And that's basically what you have to do throughout the whole fight. At least for the first phase. When you go into the second phase, you can either run straight forward and you'll dodge the attack, or you can dodge as soon as she starts going down backwards, and you should be able to dodge that attack. And as soon as you do, you can summon the mimic. In the beginning of second phase, I found out it's like the most challenging. If you can survive the first like 10-15 seconds, you should be able to beat her. Because if you stay away, because the mimic take most of the aggro. And as you can see, I'm being extra cautious. Here's the second attempt. And if you notice, take the buff and then Ronnie's moon. And I usually run the opposite way that he dodges. That way I get more room. I do want to mention, you gotta be careful getting too close to the edges, because every time that I got too close, I got stuck on like a branch, and she comes pretty quickly and you'll probably die if that happens. It did take me like 3 or 4 tries to figure out like what to do after dying a bunch of times and trying this method. But once you get a little good at dodging the last part of Waterfowl Dance, you should be able to beat her, because that's like the hardest thing. And I noticed that she didn't do the grab attack when you're this far away, so that was a plus. So here I wanted to show you that if you summon the Mimic but don't let it kill her, the aggro will go to you. So you're the one that's gonna have to dodge this attack. But if you let the Mimic kill her in the first phase, then the Mimic will be the one taking the attack. I did this about 5 or 6 times before I started recording these last 3, and I didn't get killed once when I did that. That was after I figured out how to dodge the Scarlet Rot attack she does at the beginning of the second phase. But you will probably get good at dodging the last bit of the Waterfowl Dance if you try this method a few times. And as you see, every time she starts, I just run backwards, and then when it comes to the last one, she'll jump a little higher, and that's when you try to dodge forward towards her. This type of situation is the most ideal. You can summon the Mimic and it will kill her, and that way she takes the aggro, or the Mimic takes the aggro from her. And once you beat her, don't forget to put the golden scarab and also eat the gold pickle foot. That way you get more runes if you want to continue playing. But this is the hardest boss, I think, in the whole game. And now we have an easier way of beating her. Probably not the easiest, but it is easier than if you try to fight her other ways. So now we're gonna go finish Millicent's quest, so we can do all 3 endings. I did find out that you can't use a USB. So if you have PlayStation Plus for PS5, you can upload to the cloud. Make sure the sync is off, and then you can just download it after you do one of the endings. And you can do that twice, so you can do all 3 endings and get the trophies. And as you'll see, just because we beat Malenia doesn't mean it became a lot better. Like PvP, different thing, even against NPCs. Yeah, I fail in this one too, but just keep trying. You usually figure out what works. I mainly use the Asher War. If you use R1, you have more chance of world catch if they go to the left or the right. Since it is a more horizontal slash. Yeah, this is the one where I actually succeed. Yeah, you just gotta keep her safe. That way we can get her needle. You also get a talisman. There's 2 different talismans you'll get. So one is for the one we got is for this, but the other one gives you 5 dexterity and similar effects to the one we just got.
I feel as if I've been. Thank you. But this, I pause. I took out the tell that if I would rob.
And then we can just quit out and we can come back and we'll be able to get the needle. Now we just have to take it back to Malenia's boss room and we'll get a different needle and an ancient somber stone. Now we can go to the fractured America site of grace, and then we'll be able to proceed to do the endings. So you get out of the game, go to save data, and then make sure you disable the sync save data, and then you upload your data to the cloud, and then you can do the fire ending first. Once you get the trophy and you return to the table. You can just quit out. So once you quit out, you can go and download the data from the cloud, and you should be back to the same spot. And then from here, we can go to Placidox. I still can't say that right, but we go to that dragon, the ancient dragon boss fight, and we'll use Michaela's needle, and we should be clear of the frenzy, and we can do the other endings. And then you could just repeat this process for the other endings. Once that's done, we just go back and you can pick whichever ending, Ronnie's or the regular ending, up to you. And that'll be it for this video. See you next time.